Hello and welcome. My name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today and welcome to Funky Fold Friday. It's our last card for this week's stamp set of the week, Aspen Grove. It's been all about the trees this week. If you haven't seen them, there was 2 other cards videos, which were one on Monday and one on Wednesday, so do pop back and see those. But today we are all about the funky fold. Now this is what I call a curtain fold. It pulls out like this and it stands, put that out of the way, stands like that, so when you look at it, it would be that way, and it stands perfectly like that. So it's an elongated card. So let's bring the supplies in and we can begin. So the first thing we have got is, now this is unusual, this is 5.5 by 3 3/4. Then I have, and that is in Secret C. Then I have cloud cover. This measures 3.5 by 3.5. Then I have a second piece which measures 3.25 by 3.25. Then I have corresponding white pieces. So this measures 3.25 by 3.25, and this piece measures 3 inches squared. We then have a tiny piece of half an inch by 2 3/4 for the sentiment, and a piece of Designer Series paper. Now this is the Lovely Blossoms Designer Series paper. So as you can see, I used one side for this piece. I'm actually going to use this side for the card for today. And this piece of Designer Series paper measures 12 inches by 5 3/8. Okay, so let's get the stamping out of the way and then we'll do everything else. So let's bring our pieces of white. So this is our focal piece, this is the piece to go inside, and this is our sentiment. So the first thing we need to do is to open the Secret C. There we go. And bring in the happy birthday and stamp that on there straight away. Make sure it's straight. There we go, happy birthday, excellent. Put that away. Then we're going to bring in the branches for our focal image. So we're going to do 3 ones. We're going to go up the middle there. Then I'm going to turn it round. It has a different thickness at the other end. And I'm going to bring that one there. And then do exactly the same with this one. That one there. Now we've got 2 gaps here, so we're going to bring in this like stick kind of trunk. I'm going to do one there. I'll do the same on this one. Push that down. Okay, so that's the trunks done. Now we're going to bring in, actually I don't know why I closed that because I'm going to use it again in a second. We're going to bring in a cloud cover. So I don't have the actual ink pad, but I do have a little sampler spot of ink. I'm just going to stamp that, and that will go on there. Do it again. Up there, and then again. There we are. I'm going to do 2 on this one as well. And go there. And then we've got the same again with this one. Perfect. Now I want to bring a bit of the sea colour into play. So I'm going to use the more detailed stamp. I'm going to stamp that up I'm just going to go over the edges. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to do the bits in the middle here. 1, 2. There we go. And that makes that pop a bit more. Right. Oh, I'll tell you what we need to do. A bit for the inside. So let's bring out the Secret C again. Pop that there. I'm going to repeat the same process again with the cloud cover. There we go. And then I'm going to bring in the Secret C over the top. There we go. All right. Now this is all done. We can put this aside and we can make up the card. So the first thing we're going to do is bring in the designer series paper, and we're going to work on the reverse. Okay, we're going to score. So scoring, we're going to score it at 3.5 inches. Okay, so it's 3.5 inches. We're going to score it at, I'm going to open this up, 6.25 inches. 9 1/8. And 11 inches. Now all measurements will be on my blog, so don't fear. Okay, then we're going to turn it round. I'll turn it over. There we go. And we're going to fold. So I'm going to fold and fold and fold and fold. So what you'll find is that this side is showing rather than the other. Okay, so you've got a zigzag. You've got to fold into itself. Okay, zigzag and fold into itself. So they are the fold. That gives you the curtain. Oh, Boots has decided she can hear something. Apologies. She's getting very barky in her old age. It's the smallest of things that get her going. So apologies if you can hear her barking. If she carries on, I will put the video on hold for a second. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put glue on this large piece all the way down. Hold it still. And then get it to wriggle on so it fits nicely. There we go. Okay. Make sure it's all squared up. Perfect. Now I'm not going to use the ribbon on this one, so I want to see which we prefer, without or with the ribbon. So let us put these on their relevant backing pieces. So this is going to go onto here. Again, I'm going to use the multi-purpose glue. I made myself freeze then because I thought, I don't want to cover it, but I do. It's the other side I don't want to cover up all. So that's that one onto there. I'll explain what I mean in a second. And then that piece will go onto here. So I don't want this all to stick. It's only going to stick on this panel here. Okay, so it's going to sit like this on the panel. I'm going to bring in my stamp and seal, and I'm going to turn it over. So we only get glue down this section here. So I'm going to go, oops, take the lid off. Always helps. So we're going to, oh look, the sun's shining. 1, 2. Okay, and that's literally on this panel. We can then flip it over and make sure it doesn't stick. Just check the glue on either side. You're okay. Make sure you're straight, and then you can put it down. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to flip this over like so. And then we're going to put glue.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Oh, we're all going today. That's the Alexa going off. I've not had her go off for a while. There we go. And put glue all onto there. And as you can see, it's got an equal area around. I'm going to bring this over and push it down. Bring it over again, and you can see it fits nicely into our square, and then it won't be seen on the other side until you actually open the card. Okay, so this is going to go across here like so, and I'm going to do a little bit of glue, and that is going to go across there without the ribbon or thread. There we go. Let's make sure that's straight. And there we are, a very quick, I know I tried to do there, very quick funky fold really for a Friday. So do you prefer it with the linen thread or without the linen thread? I'm thinking I prefer it without. Do drop a comment in the below and let me know what you think. So I hope you enjoyed all the cards for this week. We will be back on Monday, but don't forget that tomorrow there is Scrapbook Saturday. So thank you ever so much, and take care, and I hope to catch up with you very soon. Bye.